Remember WeWork? That company that promised to revolutionize how we work, live, and connect? They had the cool offices, the free-flowing beer, and a valuation that shot up to an insane $47 billion. It was a global phenomenon, a symbol of a new, elevated way of life. But then, it all came crashing down. In November 2023, the co-working giant filed for bankruptcy, a spectacular implosion that left the business world stunned. So, what happened? How did a company that was once the darling of Silicon Valley and Wall Street end up in such a catastrophic mess? And more importantly, is their story over? Well, not quite. WeWork has emerged from bankruptcy, claiming it will be profitable by 2025. This is the wild story of WeWork, the hype, the crash, and the audacious attempt at a comeback. It all started back in 2010. Adam Neumann, a charismatic and larger-than-life founder, opened the first WeWork space in a New York City loft. The idea was simple but brilliant. Create shared office spaces for freelancers, startups, and small tech companies. But it wasn't just about desks and Wi-Fi. Neumann was selling a community, a we generation. He branded the experience with perks like networking events, kombucha on tap, and yes, plenty of beer. It perfectly captured the millennial vibe of the time. People weren't just renting a desk. They were buying into a lifestyle. The concept exploded. WeWork expanded rapidly across the globe, becoming a beacon for the gig economy. And then the big money arrived. In 2017, the SoftBank Vision Fund, a massive Japanese tech investment fund, started pouring in cash. And when I say pouring, I mean a fire hose. Between 2017 and 2019, SoftBank invested a staggering $18.5 billion into WeWork. This tsunami of cash inflated the company's valuation to its peak of $47 billion in January 2019. It was one of the most valuable startups in the world. With this war chest, Neumann's ambitions and excesses grew. There were private jets, lavish parties, and bizarre spin-offs like We Live for communal apartments, and even WeGrow, an elementary school. The company seemed unstoppable, and Neumann was treated like a visionary guru. But behind the tequila-fueled parties and inspirational slogans, the financial reality was grim. The company was burning through cash at an alarming rate, a fact that was about to be exposed in the most public way possible. The moment of truth came in 2019 when WeWork decided to go public and filed its S-1 document with the SEC. This document is meant to give potential investors a clear picture of a company's financial health. And WeWork's picture was a horror show. The filing revealed that in 2018 alone, the company had lost $1.9 billion on just $1.8 billion in revenue. That means for every dollar it made, it was spending $2. The S1 also exposed the shaky foundation of its business model. Endless, long-term lease obligations for its properties. Worse, it detailed numerous instances of self-dealing by Adam Neumann. For example, he had trademarked the word "we," then sold the rights to his own company, WeWork, for $5.9 million. The backlash was immediate and brutal. The public, investors, and the media turned on the company. The planned IPO was a catastrophe. On what should have been its first day of trading, the stock plummeted 48% in private markets before the official listing was pulled entirely. The fallout was swift. Adam Neumann was ousted as CEO, though he walked away with a golden parachute worth a reported $1.7 billion. To prevent a total collapse, SoftBank had to step in with another $9.5 billion bailout. The $47 billion unicorn had been revealed as a house of cards. In early 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic hit. Suddenly, the very concept of a shared office space became a public health risk. Offices emptied out overnight, as companies across the globe sent their employees home. The remote and hybrid work revolution exploded. By 2025, estimates suggest that 60% of employers will have remote work arrangements. For WeWork, this was a death blow. Its business model depended on packing people into communal spaces, but now those spaces were ghost towns. The company was still on the hook for billions in rent for these empty buildings. Its future lease obligations ballooned to a crushing $12 billion. Despite massive cost-cutting efforts and closing hundreds of locations, the financial bleeding was too severe. In November 2023, WeWork officially filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The bankruptcy process was a brutal but necessary reset. It allowed WeWork to slash $4 billion in debt from its books and, crucially, to renegotiate or exit leases at 170 of its underperforming locations. In May 2024, a judge approved the company's restructuring plan. WeWork emerged from bankruptcy, a much smaller, leaner company. The software company Yardi Systems is now the majority stakeholder, with SoftBank retaining a minority share. The era of unchecked growth and lavish spending was officially over. So, what does the future hold for the new WeWork? The company is making a bold claim: profitability by 2025. It now operates about 170 locations in the U.S. and Canada, focusing on its most profitable sites. The new leadership is trying to rebrand the company as a mature and stable business partner, ditching the party boy image of its past. They've then partnered with companies like Hilco Global to restructure leases and are positioning themselves not as a revolution, but as a practical solution for the new world of hybrid work. Interestingly, Adam Neumann tried to get back in the game. He put together a $500 million bid to buy the company out of bankruptcy, but he was rejected. He's since moved on to his next venture, a residential apartment company called Flow, which has already received major backing from venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz. The big question remains: can WeWork survive in a world where remote work is here to stay? The trend of companies calling employees back to the office is real, with about 30% of firms cutting back on remote options. However, the hybrid model, where employees split their time between home and the office, seems to be the dominant future. This is where the new WeWork sees its opportunity. It's pivoting to become a provider of flexible hubs, offering companies a way to have a physical office presence without the long-term commitment of a traditional lease. The story of WeWork serves as a powerful lesson. It is a classic tale of what happens when hype and a cult of personality overshadow business fundamentals. As former Intel CEO Andy Grove famously said, "Only the paranoid survive." WeWork's early leaders were anything but paranoid. They were high on their own supply. A testament to one of the most dramatic corporate flameouts in modern history. What do you think? Can WeWork actually become a stable, profitable company, or is it just delaying the inevitable? And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like and subscribe for more stories from the world of business and tech. See you next time.